Alright, so boom. If you guys were unaware, let me catch you up to speed. There was a former disgraced content creator who fell from grace rather fast because he was morbidly obese and incredibly rotund, but we're not talking about that right now. One way or another, EDP445, also known as EDP445, evidently took to Twitter to announce that he is battling stage 5 kidney failure.
But you gotta look at the person that's making the threats. This fat son of a bitch
might be dead already.
You're going to hell when you die.
If you are unaware of what stage 5 is, it's essentially end game. It's the ending stages of kidney failure. To translate it into Pokemon terms, your HP is on 1, you got no potions, you got no full restores, you have no berries, and there's no Pokemon Center in sight. So in all intents and purposes, his kidney's fixing to fail really soon, and he's either gonna have to go on dialysis for the, I shouldn't even say either, he's gonna have to go on dialysis for the remainder of his life until he messes around and gets a kidney transplant. And I'll say this right now. I feel a little bit indifferent about the situation. I have a bit of mixed emotions because first and foremost, let me not try to sit over here and try to excuse what it is that EDP decided to go out there and do. Because I've said in my last analysis of the EDP situation, what I still feel right now, there was no reason for this man to conduct himself the way that he did at that stage in his career. But that does say something about a person that when you break this news, whether accurate or not, because let's just be honest here, people could say anything on social media. This just came from a Twitter page that people are speculating whether it's him or not, but one way or another, you gotta be a type of individual, a very interesting kind of individual, when the immediate response of you disclosing that you're fighting for your life, motherfuckers celebrate. Now that begs the question, did he have this coming? Is this karma running its circuit? Perhaps he's getting his just desserts. Well, given the brother's size, I'm pretty sure he had a whole lot of desserts. But we're not talking about that right now. One way or another, if you were to invoke this kind of response from the general public, you probably weren't that great of a person.
We have you talking to Sophie, correct? Yes or no?
Right.
Okay. Sophie is how old? Before, and again, I have it right here. I know the answer, but I just need you to tell me the answer. How old is she?
13.
13, okay. Right. And before we get into the messages, there was sexual content involved, yes or no?
Right.
And you said
correct.
Okay, all right. So, again, so what brings you out here today?
Well, I was coming out here to...
Glasses off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Hey, sir, what are you doing? You talking about cupcakes with who? Sir, that is a little girl. Hey!
Is a no good, lousy son of a bitch. That's exactly what he is. But he's a no good bastard for what he did, and he ought to burn in hell for it.
Now, with all that being said, I still find myself with mixed emotions about the situation. Because, like I stated before, it didn't have to be like this. Because you got to consider, when EDP went down, and the whole scandal expose all came out, that this man was over here grooming, teenage girls, bringing cupcakes to just drop off sweets with no sort of nefarious intent in mind. The entire, Achette Goldstein and all this other operation, sting like catch a predator kind of operation came out. You gotta consider where EDP was at that particular point in his YouTube career. Mans was at 2 million subscribers at the peak of his existence on the platform. Millions upon millions of views on a weekly basis. He became damn near the face of Philadelphia Eagles fandom. Understand, there were positive Eagles fans, there are negative Eagles fans, but there was nobody who was bigger, no pun intended, of EDP445. When you thought Philadelphia Eagles fans, he was the first one that came to mind. And then this comes out about him. that he was over here talking to little girls. And you know what's interesting? He had such a platform at the time that when, I believe it was Blue Raven, was it? It was, Lord, I forget. It was Raven, Cold Raven. When Cold Raven had brought out the original allegation saying that he was reaching out to younger, reaching out to girls. Evidently, people at first was like, nah, there's no way. That wouldn't make any sense. Why would he do that? You just got to this point in your career. Why would you ever self-sabotage and do that? Like I said in my breakdown of the video, at that point, when you bringing in, now granted, he was demonetized and different sort of things like that, but he was bringing in countless of donations up on his live streams. He was Cameo Poppy left and right, getting cameos just to talk about absolutely nothing for about 30 seconds or more. Whatever the case was, man's had enough bread to where if you was really in desperate need of coital activity, you can hire somebody. You don't need to go groom children, but this man decided to self-sabotage his entire YouTube career, social media career, to where he was canceled legitimately across the entire internet. It got so bad to where if he called in Uber, if somebody spotted him in the Uber, they got his accounts canceled. He went to like Walmart. He got spotted in different sort of places. He couldn't step outside. Remember, I was slightly concerned that mans might just mess around and delete himself, given that he won't even be able to operate in society, period. Granted, I thought perhaps, you need to reach some sort of, legal sort of situation to where maybe you put him behind bars, because it wasn't as if, the mans did not go back to the same sort of activities after the entire expose, because mere months ago, homie got caught speaking to underage girls again.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
He did it again.
Where's the cops when you need one? Police! Help! Help!
Let this be known. I am not a
pedophile.
You knew what he looked like, right?
Yeah. I was just really trolling him. Like in the group chat, like when we made that group chat, we were literally just trolling him. And like he just took it too damn far. Like he started like personally like DMing me and like saying
he fell for it again.
Fly me out and he's gonna like nut at me and shit.
So on here it says, don't let anyone ever tell you you aren't beautiful, not even me. You deserve the best. Trust me, if I was in Louisiana, it'd be a beat down your door, smothering you with flowers and hugs. You just better prepare yourself, because I'm showering you on the entire world.
That's the corniest shit ever.
What the fuck, dude?
Why don't you come on down here and let's see what your lazy fat ass can do?
So you think talking to little girls is cool? Why don't you come take a seat, sir? Why don't you come take a seat?
You need to be locked up! Away from decent, normal people!
Let this be known. I am not a
Pedophile.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
So now with all this information being known to the public, and you now get to this very point where you disclose you are battling stage 5 kidney failure, and everybody is celebrating on your downfall, I still can't help but sit here and have mixed emotions, because it didn't need to be like this. Because consider if this brother had a friend. Like, I'm not going to say if you got a friend, all of a sudden you're in a situation where that person can't go down, the slippery slope of nefarious intents or kind of criminal kind of activity. Somebody who's got that in them, they fixing to do that one way or another. But I can't seem to wrap my head around why. Like, honestly, what was the point to get to this point? What was the point? Why would you do this?
I don't know!
Hypothetically, or probably literally, because given the brother's size, I'm not surprised that something like this messing around happened. But if he was going to end up at this stage anyway, if he was never talking to underage girls, you think people would have been celebrating that he announced it. I promise you, he probably would have had a GoFundMe up. Motherfuckers have been donating out the wazoo. Damn, man, we sorry about what's going on with your kidneys. Here's a couple dollars so maybe you could get some operations done. Yo, let's get him on the kidney list. Man, let's see if we could get him set up with the best dialysis treatment centers in the country. But nah, you done put yourself in a position where you announce, I got stage 5 kidney failure. And everybody giving a standing ovation. Double amputees twerking that ass to join into the standing ovation. That's how happy people were to see that you are on your complete downfall. Look at this man's legacy. He went 10 years on social media building his motherfucking YouTube channel to get to the point that he was so interesting that whether you liked him or you didn't like him, you couldn't help but watch the man's video and be captivated by it. Like, I sat for an entire day watching all of this guy's videos. I didn't know who he was. I seen a couple of videos here in passing. Somebody had sent me, I forget which video it was. You could go and watch my 3-part series on how I ended up finding out about EDP and then ultimately leading to Son's downfall and everything. But I sat there for damn near the better part of half of the day, if not 70% of the day, binge watching this dude's entire motherfucking catalog. And here we are, 2 years now later, or about to be 2 years now later, and this man looking at the damn twilight of his days because he's fixing to have to deal with dialysis for life or possible termination of his life given on what transpires in his medical situation, because given his morbid obesity and dealing with being so rotund, elephantine, things of that nature, it's probably not the only thing that's breaking down in his body. And you went from building a legacy that'd make your mama proud to ultimately creating a conundrum that'll make your mother, wish she never birthed you. That's crazy to me.
Ain't nothing but a big piece of shit. Big fat piece of shit.
I wish somebody could have spoke some sense into him, dog. Because I promise you right now, there ain't nobody who in his contact list that he can keep in contact with that's actually interested in helping him. There's no doubt in my mind he going at life alone right now. Family, he already done publicly. He had always had bad terms with his fam, at least with his pops, whoever the case may be. With his one friend, what was his name? Felipe. They had severed ties, or whatever the case was. And I think the last of the public statements in 2021 that he was making was how he was talking about how he was all alone and all this other stuff after the whole sting operation stuff went down. There's no doubt in my mind, this dude got to face life by himself. Absolute obscurity by himself because of his own actions. Like that, it's really upsetting, or I should say disheartening, to watch, how this all transpired. But he did it to himself. I don't know how to feel about this EDP situation. I really don't. Like, I'd love to sit here and say, man, I wish you the best. But then at the same time, I'm like, yo, somebody gotta, do some sort of legal sort of situation to get with this dude. Something wrong with him.
We are the police. We are the police. The police of Haiti. The police of Haiti.
Take his ass to jail. You go to jail, you son of a bitch.
All right, hold on there.
You go to jail.
Ultimately, in conclusion, in the end, in about 20 years from now, when you mention the name EDP or EDP445 or EDP445, whatever the case may be, in about 15, 20, 25 years, everybody gonna look back like, wow, that's crazy. What a shame. And they just gonna shake their head. You can't help but hear the name and be like,
this fat son of a bitch, he's fat.
It didn't have to go down like this, but You did it to yourself. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this situation, what y'all feel about this situation. Because I honestly, if you feel like, man, I couldn't give a damn what happened to this big ass piece of shit. If he mess around and he was on fire, you wouldn't piss on him to put it out. Like, if you feel that way, I understand. I completely understand. But then if you look at it from, yo, that's really unfortunate. Nobody should have to go through that. But if there was ever a kind of person that would have to go through, wouldn't he fit the criteria? I don't know. Whatever the case may be. Y'all discuss in the comment section. It's just very unfortunate. It's just very unfortunate.
I don't fist bump people like you, man.
Done. Washed. It's over.
You mean to tell me you watched the entire video but you haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button and become a member on Patreon or on YouTube to get access to the Discord. We're waiting for you in the Shadow Realm.
Do it! Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Please! Please!
What are you waiting for, huh? Oh my god.